This land was blessed with gold, oil, and fertile soil. Yet its people slept hungry. How can a rich land produce poor people? Long before the elders forgot the dates and the moon forgot its first name, there was a country called Zaza, known by travelers as the land of gold. Its rivers carried whispers of gold dust. Its forests stood tall, with timber older than memory. Beneath its soil slept diamonds, bauxite, oil, and treasures that made earth itself jealous. Yet the people of Zaza were poor. Children played with empty stomachs. Mothers measured soup with tears. Fathers worked until their shadows collapsed, yet returned home with nothing but dust on their feet. And the elders would say in sorrow, "A river full of fish can still starve a foolish fisherman." The curse of bad rulership at the center of Zaza stood the king's palace store, painted with gold, guarded by silence and fear. King Gada ruled with a heavy crown and a light conscience. He loved praise more than progress, comfort more than counsel. He sold the land piece by piece to strangers who did not speak the language of the soil. He silenced wise men and promoted flatterers. He built statues of himself while schools collapsed and hospitals became graveyards. The people cried, but the king danced. The land produced, but the people starved. The elders warned him, "A king who eats alone will choke alone." But Gada laughed. A land rich, a people begging in Zaza, miners dug for gold with their bare hands and died without shoes. Timber left the forests, but roofs still leaked. Oil flowed from the ground, but lamps stayed dark. The people begged in the land of abundance, and the grass sang bitter songs. It is not the land that is cursed, but the mind that rules it. When the youth awoke one season, hunger overstayed its welcome. The youth gathered under the ancient baobab, the tree that had seen kings rise and fall. They spoke not with fear, but with fire. Why are we poor in a rich land? Why do strangers feast while we fast? Why do we bow to a crown that bleeds us? An old woman rose and said, "When the rat lives in a basket of corn, hunger is a choice." That night, courage replaced fear. The fall of the king, the youth marched not with songs, but with resolve. The palace gates fell like dry leaves. King Gada ran, but there is no hiding from a people who have remembered their worth. By dawn, the reign of Gada ended. The crown fell. The throne stood empty, and the land exhaled. The elders did not rejoice in blood, but they understood the warning. A tree that refuses to bend must break. A new beginning, the youth did not invite strangers to rule them. They chose one of their own, a farmer's son named Kakeli, known not for loud words, but for clear vision. His first decree was simple: resources without wisdom are wasted blessings. He gathered farmers, teachers, builders, healers, and planners. Gold was refined locally. Timber was replanted. Oil funded schools before palaces. Diamonds built roads before crowns. The people work not as slaves, but as owners. And slowly, Zaza changed. Children learned under roofs. Markets filled with trade. Not begging, the land smiled again. The elders clapped their hands and said, "When the right hand washes the left, both become clean." Years later, travelers returned and asked, "What magic saved this land?" The people answered, "No magic, only vision." For they learned a truth older than gold. A man can sit on a pot of gold and still die of hunger if he does not know how to cook. You may live in the land of gold, but without vision, planning, and good leadership, gold becomes dust, wealth becomes want, and blessing becomes a curse. The future does not belong to the rich land, but to the wise people. And so the story of Zaza remains a mirror. for every nation, every leader, and every generation.